onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Okay, just stretching the body out. Shake out. Nice deep breaths in through the nose, through the mouth. Keep everything loose. Good. Okay, swaying to the side. Nice and loose. Okay, with the elbows just rotating. And then with the arms loose, just swinging them. Okay, and just wave through the body. Okay, so just go top down, just starting with the head, just bringing the chin to the chest. In this case, really think about length through the back. So you can also do this by just kind of crunching the neck forward, but really think about the back lengthening through the back of the spine, and the chin to the chest. So really think of lengthening the back rather than crunching the front. And the same, then looking up and just creating the length in the front, all the way up and then back. And then back again to the chest, lengthen through the back. And up. Good. Okay, just looking to the left, to the center, and then to the right. And again, to the left, center, and then to the right. And then here, it's kind of as if you're bringing the ear to the shoulder. Again, just creating length down this side. And again. And then this time, just with the hand, just very gentle weight. Just again, we want to create length, just a little bit of an extra stretch. You really feel this muscle start to kind of activate. Do that. And then change. Nice, gentle weight. And then just with the hands on the back of the head, pressing forward and pushing back. Again, try and keep the length in the back of the neck and pressing back the head. And to the front, just pushing the forehead and pressing forward. Good. And just the front, just roll in kind of half circles. Good. Okay, to the shoulders, just nice big circles forward. Really try and open up the chest as well. So the shoulders, really think of this whole area, the shoulder blades, the front of the chest. Really opening, and the full rotation of the limbs. Forward, and then backwards. Really opening the front of the chest. And then just alternating one shoulder at a time. Really now rolling the hips. And then back. And kind of the same just with one arm. You're just going to kind of roll through kind of figure eights with the arm. So just let it roll forward, rolling back. Roll forward, roll back. We're starting to really involve the elbow, the forearm, the wrist. Just keep it loose. Let the arm really roll through. That's it. Good. Good. Onto the other side. Roll. And let the hips and the center really guide the motion of the hand. So. And just work the arms together now. So the same kind of figure eight, rolling them together. Together. And just really align the hips to guide the hands. You can also play with alternating them in this case. So just roll through. So, keeping the arms heavy. And just come through to this position here with the arms and then opening it out. We're keeping the forearms from the fingertips to the forearms to the elbows. Everything's in contact, and then separate it. Tight to the body. Keeping the lower back nice and strong. And then just reverse this motion. So come in out, together, and then press down. Coming out, together, press down. Good. That's it. Good to the hips. Nice big circle. In one direction and then the other. Again. And the same, just playing with kind of figure eights in the hips. So one hip forward and rolling over, kind of alternating the hip. We'll play with them kind of opening and closing together. Try and really isolate the movement of the hips. So you want them to really move independently and together at the same time. So a very flexible joint. Just try and really unlock the hips. Good. Good to the knees. Circles. The other way. Okay, just feet out this way. Try and keep the back of the heel down. So the feet on tracks. Pressing forward, just stretch into it. Sink the weight in the center and drop down. Changing sides. Feet parallel, Really stretching the back of the hamstring. And then a little bit further, just going to drop the knee, stretch out the back. Again, keep the weight in the center and just drop the weight down. Good. Changing sides. And then change sides back. Now, stretch up and back. Way up to the back. And then back. To the sides. Stretch down. Stretch up. And then bring a kind of bow in the back. Good. Okay, just to the feet and the ankles, just pressing the weight down in one foot and just along the ankle. Both ways. And then just pressing the toes out, pointing the toe, pressing the ball of the foot, and then pressing the heel. And change sides, just rolling in circles. And pointing the toe, pressing the ball of the foot, and then pressing the heel. Okay. Just do some wrist exercises. So just starting with a go like this. Just apply it. Just apply it fully. Just release it 3 or 4 times. And then keeping the contact, just change to the other side. This way. Yeah, then we go into a kotegaishi. So here, thumb in the kind of base between the third and fourth finger. Just rotate it and release it.
Michael?
Yeah.
You are intermittently frozen again.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't see your movements.
Okay, in this case, just go to a kotegaishi stretch.
Yeah.
This way.
Okay.
Good. That's it. Good. And then to another variation on a Nikkyo stretch. The thumb's on the top, and the hand that you're stretching, thumbs down, and just bring this towards the head. So you're really stretching, in this case, the wrist this way. That's it. And then just change. So the thumb over the top, and just rolling the whole thing together. That's it. Good. I'm going to stretch for a Sankyo. Take the fingers and just stretch it all back. Good. Changing. Take the fingers, stretch it all back. Good. Okay, make a fist with one hand. Just take the hand over and just roll over it. Give a little bit of resistance in the fist. You can roll through it. And the other way. Good. And then changing sides. Just roll through the wrist. Okay, for the fingers, just pointing the fingers out. Just do this kind of rapidly. This way, so you're kind of flexion to full extension with the fingers. You kind of point them out. Full strong extension. That's it. Good, and then from kind of flexion to full contraction here. So just really squeezing the fists together. Again, nice and strongly. Release it in grip. Focusing really on the last two fingers, so the little finger and the ring finger. Really gripping tightly. Okay, and we just do some work down the arm. Just from here, just taking the grip and just opening an extension out. Really looking for a kind of cocky position. You're really going to kind of open out the hand this way. And at the same time, really clamp with the other hand. So really roll. You also, in this hand, you kind of take and you can kind of twist into it as well. So really work the arm. If you find any kind of tender points, they're normally kind of this point underneath. So just kind of roll into it. You can also use the thumb or the fingers as well to kind of press in. Just get this feeling of opening out at the same time, pressing in with the other hand. Just work your way down the arm and up. Good. And to the other side. You can do this two ways. You can do it by opening the hand out and squeezing, or you can do it by closing the fist. Just experiment with both. You get kind of different effects in the arm. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, just shake the whole body out. Take the hands at the top. Really shake them out. Nice and loose. Roll them at the bottom. Shake the legs. Okay, you take a Bokken. Bokken work. It's got really big movements, so just starting with shoulder width apart. Just find the back and then just swing it down. Just find the back, swing it down. Really big, clear movements. And really emphasizing the whole movement. The raise, find the back, and then dropping from the hips. Really focusing on the connection with the ground, sinking the weight down whilst maintaining the extension up. Good. Uh-huh. Okay, so in this exercise, all the kind of Bokken cuts, what you're looking to do is really kind of find a arc in the sword and try and meet it with the body. So try and avoid, in this case, just dropping the body down. So you can do this by just kind of dropping the knees, bending the knees and dropping the body down. You really get a sense that the arc out with the sword is going to be met with the body. So I'm going to kind of meet it. So really allow the body to flex. Yeah, so the body, the spines, everything's going to kind of flex forward, not kind of bend, tilt, and not just kind of drop down. But really get a sense that you're going to kind of meet this arc this way. So try and get this sense, not just a downwards movement, but really like a flexion of the whole body. Just play with this. Okay, good. Good. Nice. Okay, and just really notice the 2 points in the movement. What you don't want to do is use the arms to start the movement. So there's 2 points where this is really clear. This point, I can kind of start in the arms and then drop the body down. And also this point, when I raise the sword, I can start in the arms and then bring the body up. But really get a sense that the hips initiate the movement. So feel the pressure from the ground into the hips releases the sword. So in this case, just slightly delay the movement of the arms. So the best way to do it is just don't really do anything in the arms. Allow the hips from the feet to go, and then the arms follow. And then the hips from the feet go this way. So slightly delay the movement of the arms. So don't allow them to start the movement. This. What I don't want to do is this. This. Where basically the arms are in front and the body's lagging behind. Really get a sense the motivation comes from the ground, from the hips. It's as if the kind of body's dragging the arms and the sword. So this kind of coordination. And just slightly delay the movement of the arms, really to make it clear. So the first thing to go should really be the hips and the center. Yeah, good. Good. Nice. Good, good. Okay, and the same thing, just take across your right side, and again, just release the cut. So nice, big clear move. Bring the front foot to the back foot, and then just swing through with the arc, and really release the arms. You can also release the front hand as well. Just find the back and really release. And again, just work on this coordination from the ground. So the ground into the hips and then into the hands, and really release the sword. The arms should feel kind of useless a little bit in this case. Just release it. And really all the focus in the hips, the connection to the ground and the hips pressing through. Hips pressing through. Just focus on these 2 points, raising the sword and dropping the sword. Really initiate the movements from the hip. Good. That's nice. Okay, and then the next step with this one, just go to a placing position. So no power, find the bag, place the sword here, and then do the same thing, just drain down with the body. So release the cut. So you're gonna now place, find this position kind of horizontal with the sword, and then just release through the cut this way. What you should notice is the body's really stable. So you're in position, you place the sword. It's as if the sword's kind of slotted into the body, and then just release the arm this way. And the body shouldn't move anymore, so that the center shouldn't do any more work. So the body should be stable at this point, and then just release through it. And you should also feel they find in the front, and I draw, the body's really feels unstable. So really get a sense of just draining into the ground, placing the sword, really firm in the hips, and then just release. Just really notice what happens in this position, where the body is. And each time just try and get more and more a feeling of balance and stability. So just placing and releasing. Placing, releasing. Good.
Yes. Good. Nice. Good. Okay, good.
Okay, good. And then just a full focus cut. So again, big clear moves, find the back, and then just come into the cut this way. Release up and cut in. Just the first Suburi, really big, clear head move. Give yourself, in this case, give yourself really time at the end of the cut. There's really a temptation to kind of cut in and then just release back into it, but really give yourself time here. Feel where the body is, and then start again. Really give yourself time. Really look for each time more stable. So more stable each cut. See how really relaxed you can be through the movement. So strong and stable, but also relaxed. So
Good. Nice.
okay, good. So just to focus on the extension when you do this work. So now really with a strong sense of extension, you've got the body pressing into the ground and the hips stabilizing, and then a really strong sense of extension out. Now really trying to avoid a sense of pushing. So when you make the cut, try and avoid this kind of work with the hands basically from the elbow doing this, this. But just get a sense that you're just going to drop into and focus. So allow the elbows to drop and then just focus the hand. But don't have a sense you're going to push out with the arm, push out with the elbow. So find the sense that the elbow's going to drop and then the grip just tightens this way. And the forward arc of the extension actually comes from the hip, this, but not from a sense of pressing out with the arm or pushing out with the arm. So really just get a sense, heavy elbows and really strong extension and full flexion in the hip this way. This way, so it should feel really super stable and fully extended front and back. Let's look for this kind of feeling. Without that, kind of pushing forward and pushing forward. Oh, not really stable. Just get a sense you're going to stabilize and cut into it. Stabilize, cut into it. Super stable, but fully extended. Nice. There we go. Good. Great, great, great. Nice. Good. Okay, good. We're going to go to Zengo Giri. In this case, I don't want you to focus at all with the hand, so just really keeping this calm and just focusing on the movement. So just placing the sword and then just really rotate into the back. So each time just place. Just place. So no feeling of focusing yet. Just placing, really looking for solidity in the end of the cut. And what you're looking for is this solidity turns to a kind of flexibility for the movement. So this kind of heaviness in the body in the cut should kind of go to a lightness in this motion. So really allow this release up through the body. Release up through the body, transfers into the sword. So it's heavy and then light. Heavy, light. And just focus really on this quality of movement. What I want to do is kind of always stay heavy. Get this kind of tightness in the sword. Everything's kind of tense. But really get a sense that the sword in motion is very light. Just play with this. Heavy on the cutting and very light in the raise. Good, good, good. Okay, and then take it to a focus, but keep this idea of really releasing through the sword. So strongly focused, strongly connected to the ground, and then release very lightly. So the sword should really go into motion very much in a light way. Release through the sword. Through the sword. Obviously, I don't want the movement of the arms to distort the body out this way. So I want to really maintain the weight down, maintain the connection to the ground without the bokken and the arm work really destabilizing me. So keep them very light. So the arm should feel very light, very relaxed. And just work on basically how relaxed you can be with the motion. It should feel very light.
Michael?
Yeah.
You are not turning, but doing a, do you do this for purpose of showing this, or?
In this case, yeah. You can also play with it. So in this case, you don't necessarily need to do a full rotation. So you can also do this way.
Okay.
But you can also play with a full rotation. This way. Yeah. Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, good. Nice. Okay, very nice. We're going to go to number 5, and again, just really with a loose movement. So I'm going to break this down into 2 moves. I want you to just do it on the spot. You're going to find this position with the front hand finds the top of the head, and then you're just going to swing the sword down this way. So really in 2 moves, find the center here, find the top of the head, and then just swing the hips through. Now in this case, we're working with Shomanuchi before. You're now going to work with the Yokomanuchi. So in this case, the back hip's really going to open and swing more. So the body's slightly more, oh, I'm slightly frozen. Slightly more spiraling this way into the ground. And again, just release the sword down. So here, release the sword into the ground. Release the sword into the ground. Find the head and release down. Head, release. And really be precise where you find, you're still finding the top of the head, the center of the body. This way. And this way.
There we go.
Okay, and the main thing with this one, again, watch where you start the cut. Don't try and start the cut in the arms here and then bring it out. Really find the top of the head and give this motion to the hip this way. So that the arm's just going to follow the hip this way. Find the top of the head and then really from the hip this way. So don't do anything in the arms in this case. So really the cut, this movement is all directed through the hip work, but not through the hands doing something. So in this case, it's not the arms doing something going around. It's really a sense of finding the center, find the top of the head, and then just swing the hips down. Hips, hips. So in this case, the arms really do very little. All the motion's really coming from the hips. And once you've got a feel for this, just start to kind of bring it together. So swinging up and swinging down. Swinging up, swinging down. And when you go to one movement, really keep the precision in finding the center of the head. Every time, center of the head. Center of the head. Center of the head. Because we're not finding the back in this case. This motion of really finding using the right hand to the center of the head really helps to keep the cut centered. So use this as really the kind of guide. Yeah, I'm really precise about this motion as well. The position of the hand. What I want to do is go to this position. So I don't want the hand. I don't want the hand to be here in this position. This is too far back, so it's just the front of the head. So it's kind of precise, a small movement, but I don't want to go here. I don't want to go to this position. This is too much, so I want to just come to this position here, and then here. So the cuts in front of the head, but it's not over the back in this case. This way. So in this position really helps me keep the elbow strong this way. As soon as I go to this position, you're going into kind of different work. So really allow the hand to find the front of the head. It's basically this part, the base of the hand. This part really kind of goes to the front of the skull this way. This way. So you've got this position.
The connection is really bad, Michael.
Yeah. Not this, but this. Not that, but this.
We'll continue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it. Good. Yeah.
Okay, and at the same time, the shoulders need to be wide. So in this case, I can do this position, and this is too tight. So the shoulders are kind of crunched. I'm basically going into the front of the body. So in this case, when you do this as one motion, really allow the shoulders to stay wide. They're using the top of the head, but the shoulders all the time, you should feel kind of width. All the time, width through the back. We usually focus on the down and the extension up through the spine. But actually, this direction, horizontal through the width through the shoulders is really also important. So just now focus on coming here. Use the center of the head, the hand going to the head, and then keeping the shoulders nice and wide. Also through the cut. What I want to do is collapse into one side. Really keep the shoulders width nice and wide in the cut. And now just start to work in with a focus. So coming now fully into the yokomen and keeping this width through the shoulders all the time. Width through the shoulders. This way. Good. And one pointer on the hip work is also the direction of the sword. If I don't really use the hips in this motion, the sword just kind of points up. So it just travels in a straight line. But what I want to do is really curl through the hips, and this really allows the sword to go in a circular motion. So it's really this kind of motion. This motion with the sword. You see the sword goes around the body this way, but it doesn't just kind of come up in a straight line and then cut out. So in this case, really allow the hips to affect the tip of the sword. So really now curling through this way. So just focus now on one motion. Really allow the sword to curl circularly through the body. So the hands are releasing the point and then grasping firmly.
Michael.
Yeah.
Would you say that your right hand is just staying on the line, actually, on the center line, and your left hand is actually moving from the line off?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. It's like, pretty much, yeah. This hand's kind of just doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the left hand.
And the left hand then guides the circle.
In the same way, this is really directed by the hips. It's again, it's
Yeah.
not the hands doing this.
No.
Yeah, you know this anyway. But get this sense. Actually, both hands kind of stay on the center line.
Yeah.
You're also releasing to allow the sword to
to follow the hips.
follow the hips. Yeah. So you're in. Good. Yeah. Good.
Nice. Great. Nice.
Okay, good. So we just go to number 7. We're doing it in a really basic way. You're just going to slide forward into the yokomen this way, and then from here coming through with the thrust this way. So nice 2 clear steps. Hopefully you can see. You're just going to slide forward into the yokomen and then release into the ski.
Michael, we can't see you what you're doing.
Okay. Just go to number 7. Just go straight into a yokomen.
All right.
Forward and then left foot with the ski. This way. So just go to number 7. If you can't see, just go to basic 7 Suburi. Here. And then just really emphasize the hip work in this. So again, the hips, allow the hips to really affect the sword. So this way, I really want the hips to curl through to the sword this way. Again, one of the tells, I'm not really using the hips, the sword just travels straight and then clunks and then comes forward. So I really get a sense that the hip, especially the back, is just going to curl in this way. So okay, it's just kind of curling motion. You're really looking for a spiral motion. If I'm not really working in spirals, I'm not really training the right way. So I really want to search for spirals in these motions, especially 7. It's really full of this kind of tight spiral for the ski. So allow the hip to really curl in and affect the sword in a spiral. So just play with this nice and light this way. Kind of remove the focus from the ski, just allow the hip to roll through into the tip of the sword. Let's try. Nice and slow.
Nice. That's it, Roland. Good, good, good. Very nice.
And Michael, is the final footwork more hito-aimi rather than hand move?
Yeah, much wider. So you've got really this kind of sense. This way. You're in a much wider stance than a hammock position. Yeah. Think like Joe work. So think like the ski from Joe work. Really kind of side on this way. Good. Okay, good. Last thing, just really focusing on the focus, going to the focus. You go here and really snap through now with the hand. So again, allow the hip work to transfer a spiral and then really stabilize it with the grip this way. Again, try and avoid pushing out with the arm. So if my arm's doing this, then I'm pushing out this. But what I want to do is spiral through and grip. So rather than this, what you're doing is this. So there's really a clear spiral that goes through the forearm this way, and not just a kind of press out. So really get a sense that you're coiling through, spiraling and pressing this way, but not spiraling through and pushing this way. So really get a sense of a strong, grounded, spiraling koku this way.
And your, Michael,
Yeah.
your sword, your can comes to a 90-degree or 45. How much do you turn it?
For the ski, yeah. In this case, kind of is really out to the side, almost 90 this way.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank
really allow it to fully rotate through this way. Through in this kind of this way. So it's kind of really rolling out, spiraling. Yeah. Nice. Great. Oh. Okay, and then last thing, just bring this together. So just really bring in the yokomen into the ski this way. So really blend them together. Don't have to do this fast, just really blend them together. So they're really the sword's not gonna stop at all. So just find the yokomen and then come into the ski. So allow basically the focus in the yokomen, the focus here, focus follows through. So just follow through off the focus and then find the ski. So you can do it super slow. And then find the ski. You can just bring it at kind of normal speed. This way. Allow them to kind of fuse the yokomen into the ski. Nice and slow. Ah, good. And in this case, try not to lose the intention in the yokomen as well. So you can also do this like kind of forget that it's a cut and just go straight into the ski. So really make sure the yokomen's really strong also. So you really got a strong cutting motion. So strong and then out. So both movements have clarity, but you're just fusing the motions into each other. So you feed off the focus into the ski rather than kind of don't really focus and find the ski this way. So really get a sense you're going to strongly focus. So you can do this 2 ways. You can just kind of trick yourself a little bit. Just find the yokomen. Just find the yokomen. Find the yokomen, find the ski. Yeah, so just kind of, you can kind of work your way into it. But really make a strong cut. Strong cut. And then follow through with the thrust from it. So keep the focus in the yokomen. And actually you use it to find the ski. So you don't want to abandon it in this case. Very nice. Okay, so these are really the key Suburi, number 1, number 5, and number 7. Just gonna do a practice where you just blend them together. So you start on the right side with number 1. So just find the back, find the shomanuchi. Now from here, you go into number 5. So step in with the left foot, find a yokomen, and then you find another on the right, and you go to 7 with the ski. Okay, you do it like this. You find the back, number 1 with a shomen. Left side, yokomen. Right side, yokomen. And then go into the thrust. So it's a kind of practice 1, 5 into 7. Nice and clear. These are really the basic building blocks we use in the system as we go through it. Nice. Great. Okay, we'll stop there. Very nice. So yeah, these are really the basics. So you can get, if you can really get good shomanuchi number 1, good yokomanuchi really good number 7. These really give you the ability to really go up through the system. All the kumitachi are built on these Suburi. So the more clarity you've got in them, and the more stability and extension you've got in them. Later. Okay. We'll bow out. Okay. Domo, arigato.
Come on, I think that's good as a message.
Hey, great. Nice to be back.